Welcome in, everybody. Unwelcome your thoughts off the hip. November 11th. It's your boy HD. With my brother Razor.
Shout out to all the veterans out there.
Happy Veterans Day. Shout out to all the veterans. Salute. We appreciate your services for sure.
Hold on, wait.
We got some shooters. Chilling at the head of the table where the boss is sitting, stunning everything in sight, whether it's in the bloodline or corporate. Walking out there ain't a big smile, or handcuffed by officers. Hold on, wait, I think they lost the script. We got some shooters. Pow. Off the hip. Chilling at the head of the table where the boss is sitting, stunning everything in sight, whether it's in the bloodline or corporate. Walk me out the arena, big smile, or handcuffed by officers. Hold on, wait, I think they lost the script. We got some shooters. Off the hip.
Yes, sir. It's off the hip. Before we get on with our wonderful episode, I would like for y'all to just check out the new single that I got out right now, Close Ones. You will be able to get to the song as soon as I take. Matter of fact, I'm gonna take this graphic off right now, because once you hit that QR code to Off the Hip, from that same page under Vibe Fusion, you would get this next song I'm about to play. Yes, sir, chat. Come on.
Yeah. I'm always surrounded by close ones, the ones that I know that can owe us. You know that it's food with a toast up, catching some clouds like a roller, steam on the head like a roller, crushing the side and I roll up. Stay out the way.
Yes, sir. Cheers.
Yep, give me spooky. Catching a yip, feel like you. Music's a goner. Hit a deck on the mall, leaving your family a soul. There's nothing I took on this ball. Blame it on me if you wanna come over, it's drama. Got it from Papa. Papa don't walk with the lava. The lava will solve all the problems. Problems created by dollars.
Lord have mercy.
Been a long way from madness, but if it happens, that happens. Then it just happens to happen. They know they lied to me, tried for me, ran down fake tears, even cried for me. My apologies. My apologies.
Yes, sir. Chat. Come on.
Playing for the bread, basketball in a bubble. 2024, what is money when you on level one? Everybody got a price to pay, but one thing pain would hit the same. Different levels with different ranks, different pills with different pains. Just read the lines, we want the same. They knew they lied.
Once again, check. Y'all hit that QR code. Y'all gonna take y'all to Off the Hip official theme song for this show. And it's to also take to the channel Vibe Fusion, and you can go listen to this song along with a few others. Man, we got it out right now. Go check it out. We working. We cooking.
Who let this man cook?
The oven is on. The oven is on. Shout out to our other co-host Snake Eyes. He can't be here right now. He's fresh off coming off of a battle. He might pop in randomly. We love when he does. Yeah, it's a vibe when he do that. I ain't gonna lie. The random
Little drive-bys.
Yeah, the drive-by hot takes. I love it. So we outside right now. Chat, I hope y'all here with us. I know we gave y'all enough time to pour in while the music was playing. Hope y'all had a wonderful night. It's wrestling, man. Oof. Oof. I'm gonna just put it on the screen one more time. For those who missed tonight's episode of Monday Night Raw, I know there was like little murmurs of it being taped, being recorded, whatever the case may be. I was even one of those. I was like, I might not want to tap in. I'm glad I tapped in. I'm glad
I love you.
Solo. Love you. Man, listen. This is the one rare time before we get into the good stuff. I want to take it to the top. Gunther comes out. This is the most deflated Gunther I've seen, dare I say, ever. And if it's like you said, jet lag is a motherfucker. So if it's not that, and he's really out there putting on, man, this brother looks tired, exhausted, beat.
Hey, if y'all saw what went down during Crown Jewel, Cody put that boy to work.
You know, it's another thing too. I feel like Damian Priest was kind of on point with his promo towards Gunther today.
He's on that time.
He didn't hold back not once at all.
That man wants the smoke. He wants the fade. He wants blood.
Because that's what I do enjoy about this time around. Damian Priest was the one that had distractions when they matched up. Gunther went into that with a clear mind, like, bro, I'm about to scoop that title off you. I want King of the Ring. This is mapped out for, and Damian Priest also touched on that tonight. Where, you know, I can't wholeheartedly agree because during that same time period, Gunther was defending his IC championship belt, but his championship, like the way they inserted him into the scene was kind of like how Damian laid it out. You got a phone call, you in the tournament, that's it. You got your opportunity. That's where Damian Priest had to go through that grueling Money in the Bank match. And throughout having his Money in the Bank, he had to pick his spots wisely. But the main part that Damian Priest touched on that got my attention was the fact he said his aura. Well, I'm paraphrasing now. I don't think aura was the word he used, but he said Gunther's aura is fading. Like since that match Gunther beat Damian Priest, he noticed that he was fading.
Man's in cruise control.
Yeah, he seen him fading at Saudi.
Because if memory serves, prior to him beating Priest for the belt, his only competition was, in all honesty, what? Randy? He just flew through everybody else.
In that tournament, yeah.
And then,
that was it.
And then post winning, he had the run back with Randy. He had the match with Cody. Has he wrestled anybody else for that belt yet, or just them two?
Sami Zayn in between on that Raw.
Yeah, but that's wash.
And also, like, just like we spoke on off air, that moment they keep showing Gunther's face. He looks tired. Looked like he wanted to cry at one point. Like he's really selling the fact that he might, in his mind, not be able to beat Damian Priest, and it's coming across so well because this is the first time that I'm really seeing Gunther have to face some kind of adversity.
He looked vulnerable.
Yes. Vulnerable. He looks bothered by the situation. He's at odds with Ludwig too, I feel. Like they're not really on the same page right now.
Because like he told Ludwig not too long ago, as he dogged him out, we both got to start doing better. It ain't all kosher right now. I'm slipping. You're slipping.
Yes, sir. Yo, well, I see you, brother. Salute. Yeah. So what you mentioning, that was said last week. And right now, again, Ludwig, every time he puts himself in a position where he can show Gunther, look, I'm able to take care of this person, making it easy for you, he's been dropping the ball. And Gunther prides himself on, we're not going to talk that shit if we're not living up to it.
That's how Giovanni got booted out.
Doing too much with, you know what I'm saying, too much lip service, so to speak.
Writing checks that your ass can't cash.
Very much so. So I mean, I don't know. I just, in a weird part of me, feels Gunther might drop the title to Damian Priest. And if this Goldberg last match does happen, I can see where Gunther and Goldberg go at it. And now Gunther doesn't even have to have the championship. He can, you know what I'm saying? It doesn't have to feel like one of those, how does Goldberg get this match against a champion? And he hasn't done nothing.
Well, the Goldberg stuff has been announced for some time next year. So we ain't got to worry about that for a minute. Now,
and that's why I feel like whatever they do, I don't know if it's going to be a Survivor Series. When is this? Do you know the exact time Damian Priest is going to get this title opportunity?
Survivor Series.
Survivor Series?
That's what Priest was talking about during his promo. So he's like, we ain't gotta wait till then. I'll whip your ass right now. But a part of me feels like Priest might get the one up on him, and then honestly, I would not be mad at round 3 at WrestleMania. But we saw how good round 1 was. If round 2 is just as good, buckle up, boys.
Yeah, again, when I say these are one of the matchups I didn't think I wanted or needed to see, it's becoming one of those again because, like I said to start off, Damian Priest came out hot. He ain't even let Gunther say like what you gonna say about it? It was kind of like Eminem when he was in 8 Mile. I'm outie. Tell these people something they don't know about me. Mic drop.
Yeah, I live in
Like,
the trailer park.
yeah, like he touched on all of that. Like, yeah, I'm Boricua trash. Yeah, I'm street trash. Yeah, I'm all of these things that you said. Now what? Like, that don't change the fact that I worked hard to get to my spot to win that heavyweight championship. And to be honest, you didn't even really beat me. My so-called brother costed me the match. That's what really like I like the fact that Damian was able to go back to that and find confidence in that. Like, yo, you know what? I'm be honest, I thought I did have trouble with you. But when I really sat here and thought about it, nah, I had you in the deep
I
end.
had your ass.
Yeah. Even so, like there was a moment in that match where Gunther had him in the sleeper hold and Damian almost got free of it. I kind of and again maybe it's not too much exposing the fact, but it's showing that that new maneuver for that new finisher for Gunther is not unescapable. It can be reversed. He can lose to it, as we seen what Cody do to him out in Saudi.
And even Gunther admitted, hey, he got me. It happened. Play his fuck up. Back to the drawing board.
Have we ever seen a Gunther in this mind state where he's having some self doubt? We seen after Damian Priest put the pause on Ludwig, sent him out the ring. Gunther was about to attack him, and then he fell back.
I've been watching this man's work for almost 10 years now. He's been in the game a lot longer than that, but there's only a small handful of, I could probably count the times on one hand. The time not this vulnerable, but where he was internally defeated. This don't happen often. But that's when he knows he's in a dogfight and he knows he's gotta tap into that zone. Dial the fuck in. But the question in his mind is like, when I was in that zone, I was riding solo. Can I still tap into that zone with my dead weight in Ludwig?
I
Now,
think he
Ludwig
has.
in this segment played a very, very interesting role as far as some of the stuff he was talking about.
Okay. Continue.
Leading off with telling, now I'm paraphrasing, one of those, I ain't gonna let him talk to you like that. He ain't worthy of being in our presence. This man is trash.
Mm-hmm.
But again, Ludwig, you gonna talk that talk, you better bob and weave.
Yep. Which that also set up a match between Ludwig and Damian Priest later on in the night. So again, Ludwig has his chance to show Gunther, look, man, I'm about to soften up the competition for you.
Again.
We've seen it with Sammy. I mean, I think the Sammy one was the most telling. Like, all right, he couldn't even soften up Sami Zayn. Sammy beat him clean. Now it's
Tried
gonna
with
be
Cody, tried with Randy.
it's gonna be interesting to see the route that they choose to go between the both of them right there. Which I feel like we know which direction, but
Also tried with Sheamus. Let's not forget that one.
mm-hmm. Definitely try with Sheamus. So yeah, that pretty much they got out of there after after Damian Priest cleared Ludwig. Gunther fell back. He ain't really want no smoke.
He looked at it like, you got yourself in that mess, get yourself out of it.
Man. Now Crown Jewel was this past weekend that just happened, right? Or it was the last 2 weeks.
last weekend.
Last
Oh no,
weekend.
maybe a week ago. Yeah.
Yeah, it was November. Oh yeah, it was the first Saturday. Oh yeah, so wow, he's still selling like Gunther. You got to give Gunther some kind of credit here, man.
Because
He's
they were in Saudi last week for Raw.
yup. So yeah, you got to give Gunther some kind of credit here for still selling the aftermath of the match with him and Cody, the jet lag, the travel,
And
cause
not only
that
that, it's just the realization that he called his shot. He got caught like he did at Mania against Sammy, and you can tell it's eating at him inside.
yup, he's been humbled once again.
One could say humbled. He'll look at it like I was embarrassed. I
Mm.
was humiliated. I was made to be a fool.
Nah, I could
And
agree
in
with that, cause that's
and in
how
his
he holds
mind,
himself in high regards.
mhm. So if what I've seen with history shows with him, we're about to see an absolute monster in the coming months, maybe even the coming weeks.
And after that segment, we get a nice return.
A very pleasant return.
Yes, it seems that everybody on the internet was happy for this. I was like, I'm be honest, just to see Dakota Kai back on television, it was refreshing.
I didn't realize it had been 3 months. I thought it was maybe a few weeks.
I'm be honest, it felt longer for me because it's just the factor of she comes back, she gets injured. Like I don't have a it don't feel like she's there consistently in the ring. We might see her outside the ring when she's still injured, but like in ring wise, I was like, okay, we got damage control, and they're being positioned that I feel like they're face. They're not
Mhm.
on heel timing.
So
I,
let's see where this goes. I'm excited to see where it goes again. That 6 woman match was very impressive as well.
Kyrie Sane might have been doing it for a couple weeks now, but I feel like I just noticed she bring back the telescope. You
I
know,
did notice the telescope.
yeah,
Yeah, they had that in a minute.
little shout out to the people been watching her work early on. You've seen that she's incorporated that before, so I thought it was
So
dope to see that.
Sonya got a lot of action today too, which is good to see.
Yeah, I just feel like them girls right now, out of all of the factions, they at the bottom. They got a lot of work to do. Um, it's just they to me they're lacking a little bit of charisma. Like I know they're supposed to be like heels and shit and not liked, but it just give me like a cool heel or make me really hate you. You know what I'm saying? I just feel like, oh yeah, pure fusion collective.
Now, could this be because Raw's 2 hours for the next month and a half, and we're basically getting Bloodline work on Mondays and Fridays?
It can be because I remember a time where they were on a mean street, pure fusion. They was out there busting people up,
Mhm.
damaging females, taking them off the roster. And today in this match, I felt like it was just totally damage control. Like I didn't really see much offense out of pure fusion for the three females they have. It's like we spoke about this before. You got three badass MMA caliber women on one team,
I wanted to see more out of Zoe because I feel like she didn't get enough.
and she is the I
So
don't want to say the
Sonya
youngest, but she's the freshest in terms of year on the roster. So
Sonya got a lot of work. Shayna got an abundance. Zoe got a little bit.
yep, I see it on my screen right now. Zoe started off the match with Io, but
And that's one of those I felt like, yeah, they kind of like teased what could have went down the road, but then it just stopped.
yep.
And I think the rest of rest of the match was all Shayna, mostly Shayna and Sonya.
But I think for good reason, with like no offense to them, but there's more money in the Jade and Bianca versus the Liv and Raquel, Jade and Bianca versus Nia and Tiffany, in my opinion. Like we done seen Jade and Bianca mix it in with most of these females, and I think it's at the point where like since to me in my eye, Jade not Jay, Bianca especially, she's held heavyweight women's gold. If they're gonna lose the belts to anybody, I think it should be in a situation where you lose to one of the current women's champions and her partner. Now I could see why the argument are made for some of these other tag teams, but a tag team like Pure Fusion, they haven't even got the time in with each other. So it's like putting them in the ring with Jade and Bianca was like we seen how that went. We seen how Shayna took her liberties, and
Yeah.
so I don't know like about them specifically right now. They got to do more for me, to be honest. Now I don't know what that more is, but like I said, you got to really make me hate you. Like if that's gonna be a thing, if we got to make an angle where they're doing things in matches and kind of getting matches thrown out, and it's blurring the lines of reality. Like, was that supposed to happen? Did she really just choke her out on purpose? Like, if they start doing things like that, then I'm like, oh yeah, I could get behind them because they on some like they on demon time. They going crazy.
So, because Jade and Bianca are so dominant as a cohesive force, was it the right move putting the tag belts back on them as opposed to leaving them on Isla Dawn and Alba Fire?
It's just I don't understand the point because I would think like the idea is to build an actual tag team, which we've spoken about before. There's not really many real tag teams. Like when I think of tag teams, I'm thinking like the Road Warriors. I'm thinking like the Usos. I'm thinking about teams that wear the same gear, have finishes, the Dudley
That all
Boy.
takes time.
Right. So it's like, how do we like get someone else to beat them? But then let's say when their time is over as tag team champions, I personally feel they're never gonna be a tag team again, Jade and Bianca.
No.
So like you said, we running up the numbers. They got 2 titles under their belt, 2 tag titles. They was just on Raw saying how the tag team belts been defended X amount of times this year. Now I don't think all 20 was for them. I think they just meant in collective of the title itself.
Well, it could have been their combined 2 reigns if you think about it.
Yeah, I mean, since the beginning of the year, if you're talking
Because
January,
according to Tessator, going into the main event, they were on a 10-match winning streak.
yeah. So like, look, you running up fantastic numbers that are like, yeah, they can be beat by, let's say, Unholy Union, right? Let's say Isla Dawn and Alba Fire. They could run up them numbers and eventually beat that, or Damage Control.
Hell, they almost lost to the Meta Girls, Jakar Jackson and Lash Legend.
Which I think that would have been a good team to lose to if you really want to incorporate the fact that them tag belts are supposed to be defended on all 3 brands.
Mm-hmm.
It'll give some like the NXT as a third brand, as I feel like they're doing tonight. I keep seeing now. This isn't the first time they've advertised NXT PLE, but I don't see no NXT logo on there. It just says WWE Deadline. Like
Right.
this is how they would advertise a Raw or a SmackDown PLE. So it's a couple different directions that tag team belts can go with. I ultimately feel like going back to Pure Fusion, they need work. I think Damage Control now with Dakota Kai back in the fold, they can really do things there again with them.
They can get back on track till Asuka gets back, hopefully soon.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, listen too. We got the new United States Women's Championship. We can have a scenario in the future where Damage Control got all the belts, or not all the belts, but every belt they can obtain. EO can have the Women's Championship again. Kabuki Warriors, the tag belts. Dakota Kai, the United States Women's belt.
Can you imagine?
And I think I like it because I'm not tired of Damage Control. Like I know some people felt like, oh,
It's just with them, every time they get some kind of momentum, there's an unfortunate injury.
yeah. I feel like EO Sky's been the most durable one out of them.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately. And Kyrie saying too since she's come back, but she's had some scares as well along the way.
and you can tell it's taken her a while to get back into her actual groove where she's just confident doing whatever. Like early in the year, she's a little bit gun shy. Now it's like, oh no, I'm back.
Oh yeah, she's
I'm
good.
in my zone.
So I
Because
see
she was flying all over the place tonight.
if the cards are in their favor, I see a bright future for damage control. Honestly, like it could only go up too. And Oscar, I don't know her timeline too, but again, let's just say if she's one of those names introduced in some kind of tournament or something, you know.
Allegedly, her and Charlotte are right there at the door. We shall see.
Yeah. So then we get to I don't remember the order, but I think we got the backstage segment with R-Truth, Kofi Kingston.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, and you know, Kofi was basically explaining to R-Truth he wanted to help him, but Xavier was telling him not to, and you see Xavier in the back with a grin, like, word, like,
There was one more gentleman in that little pile right there too.
yeah, who
Don't
what?
call me Butch.
Oh man, when he came through, that's basically what sets up the next match, right?
He
Like,
was ready for the fade.
man, listen, he
Tell
cut
him
off
truth.
he cut off whatever they was talking about.
What the truth? Hey, we got problems, whatever. Truth say, oh, that wasn't me, dog. And then Kobe chimes in. You want some too?
Yeah. Now, the part that boosted minds about Pete Dunne at that moment was Xavier's trying to like, you know, diffuse the situation. Nah, he don't want that. And then Pete Dunne's like, oh yeah, so you're gonna let him talk for you now, huh? Straight instigated the
Money.
situation. Money. And I'm not gonna lie, like just a week or two ago, remember I was saying how, oh, what if this sets Kofi up to be a I think Kofi looks kind of foolish now, especially with how the match with him and Pete Dunne unfolded. Wouldn't you like back when they were like that's the problem with Kofi right now. I feel like he's not like we spoke on New Day were heels coming in. Kofi
Correct.
is like okay, the power of positivity is what got you guys over. Understood.
And now that he's gone, he's trying to maintain that power positivity.
And this is why I feel like Xavier is gonna set himself up to be a cool heel and not a bad one because he's doing the right things he got to do to win a match. Like I got to do what I got to do to win, bro. It's like
He misses them winners purse that they used to get.
yeah. If it was the roles were reversed, anybody else would have did that same clothesline that Xavier did.
Yeah, because you're trying to lock in the dub for your partner, for your team. But what I thought was interesting about all this was, or not about this part in general, but just it's been rumored that the go home show for Survivor Series is essentially going to be centered around the New Day's anniversary. 10 years.
Mm.
It's supposed to be heavily around the New Day. So, could we see some chicanery then? Will we have a Big E sighting? I would hope. But after we saw the match with Kofi and Pete Dunne, a part of me might think that instead of, like I've been predicting for months, that Woods taking out Kofi, it might be Kofi snaking E.
Mm.
Because E will try to say, "Hey, we're brothers, we're family, we're better than this. Let's just go backstage and we'll hash it out, whatever." And Kofi have one of those. Oh, you want his side now? Boom.
That would be again. That would be a way to get Kofi hated too, because I don't see Kofi surviving as like a face during this roster right now. All the heels are just gonna run him over. I don't see no underdog story for Kofi right now. Like all the heels to me are they in beast mode. Like
What about Kofi and Obafemi?
that shit gonna be Wesley and Obafemi Part 5.
No, I'm talking about them as a team.
Oh, as a team, that'd be crazy. Like for real. What's Obafemi's nationality?
He's
Is-
born
He's from the
stateside, but I
same.
think he
They from
might
the
be
same
Nigerian
side.
as well. Yeah. Let's
Okay,
see.
but Kof. Okay,
I think Kobe. Yeah, Obafemi's ties are to Nigeria. Kofi's ties are to Ghana.
my man Commander Aziz, that man. My man Commander Aziz,
Oh, oh
man.
no. That man is doing the Indies right now.
He good.
He back under Daba Kanto now.
I was saying, my man Commander Aziz, man. I thought he was gonna be lit. I used to pick him in that one WWE game he was in.
Yeah,
Man,
he did. He's doing some intergender stuff now.
oh my man out there wilding, wilding.
Yeah, he has become one of them.
Man, but yeah, just going back to the Kofi and Xavier stuff, I'm more locked into what they doing now. Like, I really feel like they doing a better job at giving that shit more TV time. Like, I feel like more of the stuff with them used to feel rushed or not rushed, but a little drawn out. Like, we don't know what we waiting for now. Every week we starting to see the layers between them,
Mhm.
and I'm kind of glad that they got that. Like, it happened for other reasons, but I don't think they needed to introduce somebody like Odyssey Jones to get
Boo.
something right, to get something between them. You feel me? Like, I think they could have took the same route that they took now with Xavier feeling unhappy about losses. Like, that's the common theme we starting to see. Like, losses have consequences, whether it's kayfabe or not, whether it's in story or not. We seeing people all over the place being unhappy with losses. The Street Profits, Xavier. You know what I'm saying? We got to get back on top. That's the main objective. Like,
The Street Profits is a whole nother story.
yeah, that's why that's why I just say in story or not. Like, we got things, you know what I'm saying? But like, that's how the landscape is. Heading into the 9 o'clock hour, Bronson Reed,
With a sweet new shirt.
man, big Bronson Razor, yes sir. I'm waiting for that shirt, man. I know you're gonna get it. I can't wait to see it. Seth Rollins just comes out ready for smoke. Not gonna
Oh
lie,
no. Before that, Bronson was in his bag too on the mic. But, hey, yeah,
man.
you got me, whatever. But hey, you want to run back, whatever. I'm right here. What's good?
And it's crazy. Like, I thought I didn't think we'll be still on this. I knew they was gonna spin the block back on it because of how they match ended. But it's like, again, the conclusion was we're gonna get them next week. Boss, what's
See,
the word, man? Salute, brother. Like, we gonna get them next week. So it's like, I feel like at Survivor Series, they're gonna get one of those matches, bro. It's gonna be no holds barred or no
oh no,
disqualification.
according to Pierce, after next week,
This should be
Dunzo.
it.
He tired of it.
Man. I guess we gotta, fill out the weeks. I felt like, again, I don't really want to see them caught up, right? But what happens after all of this is what really caught my intrigue.
Was it after or was it before?
After.
Oh, sorry, it was right after. That's right.
Mm-hmm. I remember, I think it was Joe.
Let's set the table for him because
Go ahead, go
part of
ahead.
this did start before this little segment.
Mm-hmm.
We get the OG bloodline, all that happy go lucky. Jimmy and Samuel still got the little tension. Jay's trying to play mediator of all people.
That's right. That's right. I skipped over that little segment, right? You know what I'm saying? Yup. Go ahead, get to it. Yup.
Again, much like how I stated last Friday, I'm kind of with Jimmy on this one. I don't trust Sammy as far as I can throw him right now. Some seem a little fishy. And once again, we much like Solo said last Friday, we are teasing a possible 5v5. Sammy says, I know somebody. Jay, I'm gonna text you with whatever I figure out.
Which was complete bullshit because as as we seen who his first option was.
Oh boy!
That was
Now,
complete
before we get into
bullshit.
that, this was the last person I would have expected him to go to.
Last person.
I'm thinking something right now. I'm thinking maybe an Ilya. I'm thinking maybe a Sheamus. I'm just counting down, checking the roster. Okay, which baby faces, whatever that would just do a good favor for a friend. That's where my mind was going. Never in 1,000 years would I expect Sami Zayn's first person to go to would be none other than Seth freaking Rollins.
Man. When I seen that, my immediate thoughts was it's not gonna happen, but just the prospect of it. Like, just imagine.
And
But I
Sami,
thought, like, go ahead.
no, I was just watching the segment back not too long ago. It's just for him to start off with, hey, you got problems with Roman. I got problems with Roman. But guess what? I can put that behind me. So can you. Now, Seth's choice of words, he went a different route than where I thought he was going to go, but the end result was still the same. I thought he was going to talk about how, yeah, I broke the family up. Yeah, this happened, blah, blah, blah. Instead, he went with I tried to take his ass out. That man was a tyrant. I will never team with him ever again. Sami, you are out of your mind.
And I was completely surprised because I didn't think that, like, now I'm seeing a new part of Seth too. Like, he holds a grudge towards Roman. But my thing is like this. In Seth's case, just Seth, because everybody else can make their own case. Seth, you turned on the Shield first, brother. I'm not saying two wrongs make a right.
Roman ain't never gonna forgive you. But like I said, long before Roman even thinks about forgiving him, Seth knows them two still got to dance one more time.
Yes. Yes. And you've been saying that for a while, so it's like,
And aside from Jey Uso, Seth Rollins is the one person that Roman's never really beaten.
right. I mean, also too, like, Seth Rollins done fucked over Roman Reigns. Like, if you just go back in the history books when he did the infamous cash in of all cash-ins at WrestleMania, he cashed in on Roman and Brock Lesnar and just swooped the title right in the middle like they match.
The heist of the century.
So I'm beyond, for me, I always felt like, yes, Roman went about things the wrong way with how he conducted the bloodline and how he chose to run things. But ultimately, within WWE, he was given no other option.
And also, like we started with, or the whole thing stems with, Seth broke up the Shield. Seth swung the chair. What was it? It was a Rumble Survivor Series. Seth chose to taunt Roman with the Shield music and wearing the Shield gear.
Hell, why does Roman even still got blue in his background?
Believe that.
He still wears the pants that would resemble the Shield days. He
Still got the
lost the
gloves.
best. Yeah.
He only just swapped the boots.
Man, like, I mean, that was a time that I don't think any of them could ignore that really put them on the map. You know what I'm saying?
Hell, prior to him coming back from leukemia, he still had the damn song.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Before the tribal chief music that we got. It was like just a spinoff off the Shield without the Sierra, Hotel, you know what I'm saying? Indigo. You didn't have the army intro.
Now, on this notion, it's going to be very interesting on Friday when Roman goes up to Sami and say, "Why'd you go to him? Why him?" He's going to look to Jay. I can't trust him. You know what he did to me.
Hmm. And I don't know the order of, I don't want to get everything too confused here because some of my notes I don't have everything here, but we also seen who Jimmy tried to go holler at.
Now we don't know what went down with that conversation because I thought it was very clever how they went to that and then straight to a commercial.
And Braun Breaker, I'll listen.
Now, could that be? I need you to take Sammy out. I need you to straighten my brother out so we can see the lights. We don't know, but that's another one. Him as the fifth man. Yeah, you can argue that again. Him versus Jacob would be nice and all that, but still, with Jay and Roman, they remember the words that he said before Jay being for the belt. No one in your family has ever beaten anyone in my family. You know Roman ain't letting that slide.
And Jay already had like took care of that in a sense, like, cause now if we go back a little bit, Braun Breaker said the only reason he wanted smoke again with Jey Uso is because he felt disrespected. Like he went out there to congratulate him, and he felt like Jay was kind of throwing it in his face a little bit. So that's the real reason why he wanted to take the belt back from him the second time. But it seemed like if that's how they, because it was a little bit odd to us when he did do that. But then we got the justification later on as to why he did that. But it seems like he that was probably just part of the shit talk. And he got other fish to fry too. Him and Jacob had that stare down.
Is it too far fetched to think that maybe Jimmy's the fifth man?
Who? Jimmy?
Jimmy?
Yeah, I don't see it. He got viciously kicked out of that bloodline. Like they done beat this man down, took him off TV for
Okay.
months. If he goes, like Jimmy's a sellout, man.
I mean, if you think about
And
it,
you know what though?
he left the OG bloodline and came back a couple weeks later.
I give you this though. Something does very feel like I'm waiting for something to happen. Like I don't know.
A lot of seems off.
Yeah, something feels like all right. Like let me paint the picture for you guys in the chat. Have you ever had a disagreement with one of your friends? It don't got to be in this case, let's say a close friend, right? And now this disagreement or argument you guys had, you try to relive the moments, but the aura, the air feels a little off, a little different because there's things that's still unsaid, unspoken, things they haven't really hashed out. That's what this
There is
feels
such
like.
things as irreconcilables.
This could be a good old lining up, what we like to call a good old lineup.
But
Because
again,
Sami Zayn is great at collecting information. That's one thing we know about his character. He's great at collecting and retaining information and playing his cards well in a way that favors him.
now where was Jay when Jimmy pulled up on Braun? Is what I want to know.
Who was Jay trying to find?
Where was Jay?
Yeah, I mean, I could all assume they pulled we all go different ways trying to look for people, but yeah, it's a good
Jay could
that
be
was a
like,
funny person to talk to.
Jay's gonna probably like, I'm gonna be in the car, whatever. Jimmy's like, I'm gonna go back. I'll be right back. I'll meet you at the car.
Yeah, it was, man, that moment itself though, just it almost feels it's nowhere near the same, but it's almost feeling like the tease of the NWO, the third member. Who's the third member? Who's the third member? In this case, for the War Games, is who's the fifth member gonna be? Now, I think we all got speculations because it seems like whoever they're gonna include got to be story involved. Like they're not just gonna pull a random out of, right? Like just to fucking do it out of a big whoa. But what I do think, if they were to do that, what if Sami Zayn or any member of the Bloodline comes in contact with Paul Heyman, and Paul Heyman gets the Beast as the fifth member, the Beast incarnate, Brock Lesnar.
If that were to happen, which again I would love, then Sammy's pulling the wool over the OG blood, and he's really Solo's fifth man.
We've got no answer as to really why Brock Lesnar F5'd Cody Rhodes the day after Mania.
Brock being Brock. Brock don't like being shut up by nobody. But again, I can see those things where I in my heart, if Rock isn't the fifth man for Survivor Series, then I'm still leaning towards Sammy. And then again, this could be next week, this week, maybe the go home show, and then Roman will probably give the nod to the Usos, saying, "I'll make the call."
Mm.
But again, on this notion, could you imagine? Now we've been talking about this for months, plausibly, of potentially the 3 Paul Heyman men in this match. If we get at least 2 of them,
Yeah.
and the Paul Heyman man at that.
Yeah, Punk is my guy, but Brock Lesnar has to be the one.
Brock was the original.
Only reason is because you do still have Jacob Fatu on the other side of that match, and I think Brock
Imagine that
Lesnar is the
stare down.
Yeah, like I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. With
My
this
hair is
version of the
standing up right
Bloodline,
now.
this version of the Bloodline 2.0, people could like not like this as an opinion, but so as long as they got Jacob on that team, it makes it a very hard team to defeat.
I'm even intrigued to see Tongaloa and Tamatonga throw down with Brock.
I mean,
Because those two can match their physicality as well, much like Jacob. Don't let the size fool you.
if Brock's in a good mood, they'll get some work off. I see Suplex City for them though.
No, but again, but one thing with Brock, if you can match his energy, he will work with you. But not many can match his energy.
Man, that'd be a crazy fifth if they could add Brock for that. Like,
Because it'd be I don't see Punk coming in anytime soon. But again, that's something that we might have to consider as well.
we just seen him in a cage match though. I know it's
That's
different.
true.
Hell in a Cell, War Games is different, but there's no desire for me to see Punk put in another situation like that. To be honest, not this soon.
And with him, we would have to see the mic work leading up to it. Brock, that's an easier just plug and play. And then Paul Heyman at another episode on TV could be like, we were in the neighborhood. Because I can imagine Saskatchewan's not far from Vancouver.
Mm. Mm. Just to paint a picture, right? Like, man,
Let me check the map real quick. They're in Vancouver, right? For the PLE?
I believe so. I believe so. But yeah, oh man, I'd love that right there if they do that. But yeah, we had Sammy, talking to Seth. Seth saying no, we're not gonna tear down. He said I'm not gonna tear down Roman Reigns to help bring him back up. Like you said, he's out of his mind. Um, we didn't get Damian Priest and Ludwig Kaiser.
And we also got more intel on Damian Priest's new song.
Yeah, what was the backdrop on that?
One of the dudes, or the dude that does the guitar in it, is in the band Slayer.
Okay. Yeah, so
And also,
Damian
I'm not
Priest.
sure. I'm not sure you noticed. Priest redid the voiceovers on the song too. He's talking in Spanish now.
I thought I heard something different.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we might get some Bad Bunny stuff with him soon, man. Like you seen him wearing a Bad Bunny shirt today. I don't know if that's a tease for things to come because I looked up that tour. That was supposed to be like done already. That tour. So for him to come up with that,
After 2025, though.
Oh, so he's still going in 2025 for those dates? For the
We don't know what Bunny's got planned for 2025.
Yeah, nah, because I
Again,
was looking at the
maybe a
name of
Rumble
that
appearance
tour.
for all we know.
Man. Then I mean, Damian Priest picked up the victory. I felt like the match was like a breeze by to me because I felt like in my mind I knew Ludwig wasn't gonna pick up the victory. Like we speaking on the trajectory of where he's been at with things. I
It's
seen
more
him
to
take
it's more
the
to
L.
fuel the plausible dissension between Gunther and Ludwig.
Mm-hmm. Then we get that moment where they showed the
Well,
Miz backstage.
I was gonna say, as Karen Cross said, "You're alive."
Man, we get the moment with the Miz backstage. See, for a moment, I'm gonna be honest. I wasn't happy with it. I was like, oh man, I'm disappointed. Like somehow the Miz got away. Like I'd picture they keep running with this thing for a few weeks. Like like it was entertaining.
Little did we know.
Yeah, so they pulled for now. They pulled the plug on the Miz being abducted from the Y6. He's on his own free will right
Well,
now.
no, like Miz said, hey, I just told them I'm gonna cut it out, whatever. They let me go, but that wasn't good enough for Cross. So he told AOP, grab a leg. Now I'm
And,
wondering, like,
mhm,
at what point did he bust his head open?
right. They
Like, did
got
they
him
just
good.
like bang his head against the corners or leaving Gorilla or something or what? Like, my bad.
So was this a convenient time for the Miz to just take his opportunity and attack the Wyatts, or did he plan this out with the Final Testament? What you feel? What's your stance on this? I know I heard the commentators reference something like, "Oh, the Miz is behind us. He was down with this."
Again, maybe he had a plan because again, Miz got history with the, for lack of a better term, the person that embodied by Uncle Howdy in Bo Dallas. That was his protege once upon a time. So in his mind, it's like, I gotta take him out myself. Now the thing is, I think you and I can both agree that this matchup particularly would have been a much easier plug-in for War Games.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just be honest. Um, I'm surprised they has is there a woman one announced yet or no?
Nah, not that. Nope.
Would it be a bad idea if the two War Games matches are men's matches?
Nah, because much like we spoke on, I'd be more interested in the Wyatt Six versus Final Testament, and you'll have a blend of both.
It's two different stories, two different. It'd be literally two different matches if you think about it.
You could have Nikki Cross and you could have Scarlett in the match.
Mm-hmm.
And they'll get petty offense off to the fellas, like maybe a cross body from off the top rope to one of the guys, and we'll limit, because we know WWE really hasn't shown too much intergender stuff in terms of letting guys get stuff off on females. So we'll probably see it the
What
other
was the
way around.
last one? Baron Corbin giving Becky the end of days or Deep Six,
Mm-hmm. That I can remember, yeah.
and then before that we had Dolph Ziggler and Cody Rhodes put the pause on Nia Jax at the Rumble.
Yep. So it'd have been a fun match just to see Final Testament and Y6 in a War Games match if we're gonna have a secondary one. If we got a secondary match, I don't want to see nothing like what we seen at the end of the main event for tonight's match. I don't want to see Jade, Bianca. Who else came to help? Naomi, Io Sky, possibly another member from Damage Control versus Liv Morgan, Raquel. Who came out for
I
them? Nia Jackson, Tiffany Stratton.
yep.
But I mean, I'm gonna say this though. If that happens, that may create a possibility for
A
Tiffany to
cash
cash
in.
in.
Mm,
Too many participants in the ring.
That's too much going on even for that match.
Yeah, that's what I feel like. But it can create that moment.
What I would honestly appreciate if did you watch NXT last week by chance?
Not all of it. I seen just Jada and
Did you catch the 5v5
Lola.
at the main event by chance?
Nah.
Watch that match. If that match would have been the lineup for War Games, I would have been all for it.
Mm.
No doubt whatsoever. That 5v5 with the women would have been perfect for War Games.
Yeah, like I don't know if they go with these women right now for the just to have a women's War Games match. It'll make sense because of how they building it right now and how they've been building it over the last few weeks. But I don't want to just. I've said this. I don't want to see matches just because it's the name of the PLE.
You mean like how we get the random folks for Elimination Chamber and Money in the Bank? With NXT starting tomorrow, we're getting the entry matches for the Iron Survivors matches, which is, for those of you that know, it's like TNA's King of the Mountain match.
I mean, like if we're gonna have a PLE based on an event, I think like King of the Ring makes sense. But like we spoke on before, we'd like to see at least the semifinal and the final rounds, not just the complete finals in the King of the Ring PLE. Like,
Right.
and you filling it up with other stuff. Like, we'd like to at least have that feel of an actual tournament in one night. Mm, I feel like Elimination Chamber, Money in the Bank. I go back and forth on. I'm glad that they took away Hell in a Cell. Survivor Series to me, I think is I think it's time we go back to the old format.
Brand
Like,
Warfare?
yeah, if you want to have war games at some other time in the year, then we can have that. We can have a war games in the middle of SummerSlam, 2 nights SummerSlam in the future. Like,
Oh, speaking of which, there's a rumor that started earlier this morning that that could be a sign of that to come, in which they're thinking about bringing back the SmackDown versus Raw franchise in replace of WWE 2K.
yeah, I mean, they doing a callback to everything. I think brand warfare needs to be established, and we need to start fighting for little things that matter. You know what I'm saying? Like, give us an incentive to, if you're a fan of Raw, if you're a fan of SmackDown, root for your brand, root for your favorite superstars. And it kind of gives the company a little idea of who's holding it down on what show, who's
Yep.
selling what kind of merch, who's doing what. Again, I've always thought it was when I was growing up, it was special to see Cena on one brand and Batista on another brand, completely away from each other. And then the first time we get their showdown was at the Rumble, albeit
Or
that shit happened.
or before that, you got Big Show and Kane putting Batista through a car with a double choke slam.
Yeah, like there was other shit going on. You know what I'm saying? So there was a lot of times that they was able to split the rosters and it didn't hurt them back when there was a big crop of, and if allegedly this is the best crop of talent right now, they should be able to do the same thing, in my opinion.
It'd be a great test for all of them, NXT included.
I mean, we already got the this is the starting phases, but we already got managers in place. They, to me, they've been a little too friendly. Like they see eye to eye on a lot of shit. They agree on a lot of shit. And I guess for the storyline, putting on the better shows for the fans is their objective. But once they get into that competitive general manager, like, nah, like again, Survivor Series, a brand warfare. Oh, the winner of this Survivor Series, that brand gets number 30 in the Royal Rumble. Easy,
Whoever gets pinned got to be number one.
easy.
Add some more significance to everything else.
Yeah, because one year,
Or whoever takes the pinfall isn't allowed in the Rumble.
Mm-hmm.
But on the topic of raising the stakes, there is one little tidbit we kind of flew by, and that's the trouble in paradise amongst the clubhouse of the Judgment Day.
Oh yes.
Dom, letting his levels drop.
Man.
Basically
I'm not.
telling got in
Mm-hmm.
Finn's face saying, "Hey, where were you when last week when I had my match? Thought you had my back."
I'm not gonna lie. Like I feel that Dom, he like you said, he's letting his nuts drop. He's talking to Finn. He's throwing half accurate statements at him. And I mean, hey, he's talking his shit. He said he's gotten closer to the championship than Finn has in a long time, and that's halfway accurate. It's been a
That's fighting
year,
word.
right? But Finn, let's not forget, Finn was in the actual championship match against Seth Rollins, and one could argue that was
The
squandered by
inaugural
Davey.
Universal Champion,
Hmm.
multiple time NXT Heavyweight Champion.
So you know what I'm saying?
But again, according to Finn, he's following Liv's plans.
Yup.
So, like we touched in the past, is Liv and Dom running rogue? Is Dom gonna be an odd man out like Carlito? Is Finn doing his own shit? Is Liv really just fucking everybody over? What we doing?
I feel like I, I feel like we're seeing a situation where Finn might have lost control of his team, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? Like he might think he got things under control, and we might be seeing a situation where that's not the case.
Dom versus Finn's gonna be a fun match down the road. That might surprise a lot of people. But also, with that, when that happens, who turns face, Dom or Finn?
Hmm. I think Finn. I think people are comfortable like hating Dom right now, but I think yeah, people been wanting Finn to have his upcomings for a little
To do
while now
something.
too. Yep. So yeah, I think Finn should get that look, but how do we get there? Do we get there if Damian Priest defeats Gunther and then we can get like Finn versus Damian again? Actually for the championship now? But he won't be going into that phase, but you know what I'm saying? Some things could transpire. Maybe Dom costs him the championship there. Costs him the opportunity.
Cost who?
Finn.
Over Priest or Gunther?
Or he could even cost Finn and JD the tag team championships against the Viking Raiders.
That might be the more plausible response. Because if you wait till the World Championship, remember, Priest got fucked with Dom too, so that's not really making any sense of anything. That's that's an AEW move right there.
Right, right. And a real dickish Dom move.
No, it would make no sense.
Because imagine
Because
now
why would
he
you
takes
screw
Finn
someone over to win when you got beef with the other person too, and he wants your head?
just to kick him on. They both out the same group now.
Mm, I don't know about all that, but
If
we'll
that's a
see.
thing. Yep.
Yeah,
But after that women's tag match, we get one of the holy shit moments of the night. We get this moment right here.
Well, before to lead it up, we have Kathy Kelly trying to get a response in regards to Seth's match with big badass Bronson Reed next week. And then she goes, or Seth goes, hold the phone, and we hear Solo go, Seth, my dog.
Man,
I hate Roman. You hate Roman. Let's take him out together. Seth being the mastermind that he is, I didn't tell Sammy this, but the next time I see Roman, I'm going to put his head in the ground. But I will never join you. And then we get this amazing stare down right here of what's to come. You could cut the tension with a knife already. Jacob ready to rip his head off at the snap of a finger.
man.
You don't tell my tribal chief no.
And it was what Seth said. He threw an extra shot. I would never team up with Roman Reigns. And I would never team up with a Roman Reigns wannabe.
Woo! That's what set him off.
Mm. Mm. That was a major shot. Boom! Holy macaroni. That was crazy. And
I'm very interested to see, like, now for all we know, maybe I don't see a role where Jacob interferes with the match next week, but stranger things have happened.
I just find it interesting that Seth Rollins got this much hatred for Roman Reigns because, in my opinion, from what I've watched, Roman Reigns, he held most of his power on SmackDown only up until the point that Brock Lesnar decided to lose the Raw belt to him
Well,
to unify them.
you don't think Seth still feels some type of way that he was told by not only Roman, but by his boss, the final boss, that his championship reign was secondary, less than.
Oh yeah, them shots afterwards could definitely add more fuel to the fire. But I feel like that fuel is also added by what you've been saying that Roman never felt like he got his lick back towards Seth.
Everyone has their own version of the truth, but both stories
Correct.
have similarities.
Yep. Also, too, I'm watching that spot with Bronson Reed. He went for the suicide dive through the ropes. Caught all the security guards. Man.
Hey, that big bastard can move.
But yeah, Seth, I was again surprised that he's holding this much of a grudge, and it also it's an indicator to let me know that, like you've
I
been
don't.
saying, they
I
need
don't think
that
it's so
run.
much that he's holding a grudge, is that he knows that their business is far from over. And
And,
should he agree to join forces, he doesn't want to give Roman a free shot at him.
and like you said, before they could do anything moving forward, they need to get that off. Like there's been so much history between them, so much going on that it needs to be settled before we can actually move forward.
Mm-hmm.
That's the vibes Sep is giving me.
And like I said earlier with other stories, some things you can't come back from. There are irreconcilables. Seth committed a cardinal sin in breaking up the family years ago, with the chair shot heard round the world.
Man, that chair shot set the tempo years ago.
It changed the
Goldie, I see
landscape
you
of
out
the
there.
business for
Appreciate
all
you.
we know.
Man. But that was what you like, that's setting another tempo again for SmackDown because I feel like just the same way they teased Solo, like we got both sides of the bloodlines looking for a fifth member, right? And now I feel like I'm interested to see what they're gonna tease on SmackDown as well.
I'd be surprised if Seth shows up on SmackDown.
I feel like Kevin Owens is gonna be part of a team. I'm gonna be honest. And if that is, I hate to say this, but if that is any truth that Kevin Owens is going to join the team, then I'm almost certain that if nobody else new is being brought in, Cody will be the fifth member.
Here's why I don't think Kevin. Well, Kevin may be. I don't even see that because again, much like with if Jimmy jumping back over, Kevin got taken out by Jacob, the Tongans, and Solo years ago. KO got taken out by the Usos and by Roman. So, and he said he wants nothing to do with them.
That is true, but
But
we all
but,
seeing
but
Crash Out
because
Kevin, and Sammy's one of his best
and
friends working with the
I was gonna
bloodline.
say, especially since Sammy has reinserted himself into that, he might just. I can see him just telling Solo, "Hey, yeah, I'll join you guys, but Sammy's mine."
Right. Because now he's on a he's on the opposite. Remember how he was out to get the bloodline? Now he's
Mm-hmm.
out to get the people that was working with the bloodline, I feel.
Everybody that he has felt has turned on him, that has done him wrong.
Hmm.
And again, we know that KO is not ashamed of crashing out with anybody, especially Sami Zayn. Those two are destined to fight long into the afterlife.
Because I say those are the more immediate selections. If, for example, I'm gonna just be frank about it. Brock Lesnar could go either way, right? He could get a pop, but there's still gonna be media backlash afterwards.
Yeah.
That's the unfortunate reality of the situation. You're gonna get a fucking massive pop in the building, but then there's gonna be the ones at the post conference asking the questions I'm not gonna say they shouldn't be asking, but it's like, damn, you're gonna really put people on the spot while they can't answer legal questions, obviously. Something, but that's not saying that's bad reporting. That's great reporting on their behalf, but it's just, like, damn, kind of situation. And then the other risk you have with bringing in other family members is, like we seen with Tonga Loa, they might miss a, can they hit the spots that's asked of them?
You don't think all that was on purpose?
Nah. And I ain't gonna lie, you gotta give the ref some kind of credit, man, because man, that was like a phantom pull right there. Like the ref's body moved, like somebody actually grabbed him.
I'm talking about the low blow.
Oh nah, that shit. He punched him in the asshole.
No, he punched Tonga in the head.
That shit was bad, bro. That was the second one, right? When he said "boonk."
Yeah.
Man, the first one though, that punch killing the ass, man. I mean, I said he put Kevin Owens. Zillify 2 is coming soon. Yes, sir. Yeet.
Zilla has been telling the world that Roman is his tribal chief. It is on recent record.
Man.
Again, there's a lot they can do with this, but honestly, at this point, anybody but Cody in this match.
Yeah, and the only way I see Cody is because he's already worked with Roman. He's cool with Jay. You know what I'm saying? There's no bad blood exchange with
Sammy could
Jimmy.
bag him, honestly.
Yeah, and then the whole thing with Kevin Owens is dependent on Kevin Owens. If Kevin Owens is accepting of a, let's say, Solo goes to him, then yeah, because Cody's gonna want that revenge for what happened to Randy Orton. And then this is another clever way to guys, don't miss our next episode. We're gonna get into a few topics off air and upload them. One of them would be Cody's reign. This would be another way to extend Cody's reign, not have him defend the title.
What?
Thing. I'm like, like I said, that's for another we that's for the next you know what I'm saying? But we want to
Mhm.
extend things with Cody,
Yeah.
it's like there's things that will be unfavorable, but I can see why they would go with it because the story's there. The story's already there.
Yeah, a lot's gonna happen these next couple weeks.
Yeah. And I feel like, did we miss anything? I think we got most
That was
of everything,
basically
bro.
it.
That was it for real. How
That
you
was the
feel
whole
about
show.
the how you feel about the like I'm so conflicted because what I'm trying to say is I enjoy 2 hours, but it makes me want a third hour. And knowing that they're going back to third hour, like a third hour, going back to 3 hours, I want this pace and just finish strong, do the same things. But like whatever they've been doing, I like it in terms of story. And again, it just, I don't want things to get lost in the shuffle. What I mean lost in the shuffle, before Raw went to 2 hours, we had 3 hours, and we've seen a lot of seeds planted, and it took a long time for them plants to grow to the point that, is it even growing? Is it dead? We don't know.
I'm just not a fan of the last minute notifications that shit's gonna be pre-taped again.
Yeah. I mean, that's something like being live at that last SmackDown, and I feel like in the last 2 years, I've been to all the live shows. I've missed any of those WWE live specials, like the house shows. I didn't go to those, but I went to all the Raw and SmackDowns. And that SmackDown, I could tell that things were like we said about tape, like man, it got a weird feel to it, man. Got a weird feel to it. Because they can do things rushed in a manner where like they're doing next week's material, you know what I'm saying?
And shit's gonna get out
Yeah, I mean, especially for the
because
ones in attendance, like
on WWE's Twitter today, they told folks to get there at a specific time because that shit was gonna start, and it's like, why are you encouraging stuff to get out? What you gonna pull a AEW and flag shit as it gets leaked out in the internet?
no, that's probably, I mean, that's kind of where I was getting to on our last episode when I was saying, is WWE gonna care about the actual numbers because they're already getting paid? It's like, what's the incentive to care about how the ratings look when the contract is it's like a sports player with a guaranteed contract, right? He could be doing bad, but they still gotta pay him.
Yeah, but it's also like I look at it like, say folks gonna have a game on this day, but it won't be made available to the public until a few days after the fact. If you're not watching the game live in person, makes no sense.
Yeah, that's the weird format with what they're about to do with going to Netflix. They can manipulate how they want to distribute their content. Because from my understanding, through the streaming, they could however their deal is, they can go live or just upload whenever they want. Opposed to when you're on a cable slot, it's like you have to like before back in the day, you either had to buy to be on that slot, you have to pay to be on that slot, or the network is working out a deal, right? You got to honor the deal. Now it just feels like as long as WWE's honoring their commitment, oh, we getting a Monday Night Raw out of y'all. It kind of feel like it don't matter what time they delivering it, as long as they clearing it with Netflix.
It's true.
That's how it feels. That's the perception of it. Like, whoa, y'all getting a Monday Night Raw every week. Don't work. Don't matter the time.
I guess we shall
It,
see.
and yeah, it's interesting because like I was saying with NXT, CW, I thought it was interesting that on their app you could watch the episode of NXT the next day. So the reason I find that interesting is because does like to some people that are like maybe busy enough or don't be on social media, they're not gonna mind the availability of watching a Monday Night Raw at whatever time if you missed it already. Because my problem with Peacock was if you missed the episode of Monday Night Raw, you wasn't seeing that shit till like a month later.
Right, and that's going to be the move with SmackDown moving forward, or as of right now.
Yeah, because on Peacock, I don't know what was up with. Like, I don't know if the because I got a cable box and there's no on demand that I can go watch Monday Night Raw on or SmackDown. So I didn't understand what was taking them so long to get the episode from the day prior. Especially on Peacock, they got Law and Order, right? That airs on what, a Thursday. The next Friday morning, they have it there, ready for you to watch. It wasn't like that with WWE programming. The only thing that was available like that was a PLE. And sometimes you might have had to wait an hour or two till they did their edits, and
Yep.
it wasn't like back in the day. Remember, after the pay-per-view went off the air, you getting the immediate run back. Might be some edits along the way, but you almost was getting a immediate run back from the pay-per-view, buying off the local cable provider. So I like, to me, part of me feels like I can live with it being like that, but then part of me, I'm on social media, so I'm gonna get notifications, I'm gonna get spoilers, and is it gonna make me really want to watch the product? Like, am I really gonna sit here and take like, I think to me there's a more mystique, and for me personally, I enjoy watching live programming because it's live. When something is already taped, I feel like I could pause it, walk away, because the urgency, the time sensitivity is no longer there. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like what you were saying about a sports program. It's like, imagine having to watch your favorite team, the Lakers or the Knicks, and you having to see the game 4 or 5 days later, but they're different standings. So it's like you watching something that's kind of irrelevant to real time. And like, again, part of that mystique for me is real time. I enjoy live television.
And is surrendering the shock value good enough?
That's another thing. You can manipulate more with recorded programming. Like, people were worried about piped in noises. That could very well be done with recorded programming. You know what I'm saying? It was being done on live programming. Imagine what they could do on the recorded programming.
It'll be a wild ride.
I think when I believe when it's time for them to go live, like the big moments, they're gonna go live. Like, and like shit that they're trying to give the superstars a little bit more rest. Like, let's say we do a double taping this week, but they got next week off. Or, we're doing this early taping to give you time to go home to your families. And then just cause we made y'all do a double taping, y'all got next week off too. You know what I'm saying? Like, giving them a little. I see that everybody's been saying that the travel schedule and the work schedule, everything's been more accommodating, more like, you know what I'm saying, like, than years past. So if it's done in a way to also help the superstars, then I'm kind of for that. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Because I'm always for the health and the longevity of the superstars. I never want to burn them. What's my favorite reference? When we play in the video game, you got the manager mode. They're gonna be in the
That
deep
fatigue
red.
getting a little high
Yep.
there.
Yeah, you don't want to burn them out. You gotta give them their rest, man. And it also creates for the, like, the mystique. We see we get them in spurts. Like, we didn't have to see Drew and CM Punk in a match every week, but when we got to their 3 matches, they were fucking special. And when we did see them every week, it wasn't in a match.
Exactly.
So, I think Raw was good. It was, especially the way it closed out right here. I don't know what more they could have did in the third hour, but just like this was a great way to close out. I'm gonna be honest. I'm kind of used to them closing out with a match of some sort, which they kind of did. They went to the main event, but they also had this after the main event, if I'm not mistaken.
This might have been right before the main event.
Okay, so like, you know what I'm
But
saying?
still,
Just have no,
this
yeah,
was
having this.
it was a very refreshing episode of Raw overall.
It was because it felt like I didn't expect like you said, we seen Sammy, we seen Jimmy try to recruit already. I didn't expect to see Solo recruiting on Raw tonight.
Neither did I.
It was it was only a few moments, but the moments were good. So I've been happy with what they've been doing. It seems like we got a teaser between Braun Breaker and Sheamus for the Intercontinental. I forgot we kind of breezed past that, but I'm looking at it on my screen right now. They had that speed matchup, which it came to a draw. They ran out of time. Seemed like a hard hitting affair. They giving me incentive to go watch Speed, man. Because again, like I told you, I'm kind of hurt that I didn't get to see that. Like, looked like a good, you know what I'm saying?
Wednesday morning they announced the matchups, and I saw that one last week. I was like, oh boy.
Man.
Because if you ask me, I think the speed tournament or what that format in general is tailor made for Braun.
And like I like how he kind of played off on it today and said like he's the quickest man in WWE. So the thought of that championship kind of raised his intrigue. I like that. I like how he gave us a reason as to why he's doing that, and also the choice of words he used was add to his trophy case. That was also fire to me. But now, like I've been telling you before with Andrade, how him and Carmelo should have maybe been fighting over the speed championship. I like how what happened with Braun and Sheamus is actually crossing over to Raw and allowing them to further from that. You know what I'm saying? So I like that. I like that that's coming out the speed championship right there. Again, making everything matter. That's all I can ask for. Because I would hate to feel that I'm investing my time into something that, might not matter so much. But I think that was mostly everything for Raw right there. Like we covered everything. We got the fifth man recruitment going on. I can't wait to SmackDown to see what else happens there.
I just kind of very interesting little snippet from Raw Talk not too long ago while we've been live. Lyra Valkyria attempted to console Kofi Kingston and try to pep him up and all that. He was rather appreciative of her kind words. Xavier says, Kofi, you and I need to talk. Kofi feels the type of way. Woods asked Lyra, may I talk to my tag team partner very quick? Please and thank you. And Kofi's words were, just to paraphrase it, this isn't about the tag team championship. It's about doing what's right. We have to help. He's mad because they didn't help R-Truth. Basically, the way he looks at it is like, we weren't there for our brother. You forgot about that.
Yeah, we weren't there for one of the homies.
And Woods, as they panned him out, Woods is like, I left my brother hanging. Okay. So it's getting spicy.
Man. It's getting real spicy. I ain't gonna lie. And that's all I can ask from their storyline because I felt like it was a point where they almost didn't make me care for it at a point. There was a point in time when I was just like, I don't know, man.
And here we are.
Here we definitely are. It's been one of the better programmings that I've seen. You know what I'm saying? Because it like what you said, 10 years. We're about to get to 10 years of
And almost
no
no team makes it to the decade mark.
Man. Yeah, it's gonna be a ride for them. Their breakup is gonna be special because I think Xavier, he's been showing more of a side from him that we know it could be there, but You know, he's been blowing the trumpet, doing all the New Day stuff. So, but chat, I'm about to roll out the music for y'all. This is an episode right here. WWE Raw. Who's the fifth member? War Games. Unwelcome your thoughts. Off the hip. It's your boy HD, my brother Razor. I'm gonna take the screen off real quick so y'all can see that QR code. Inside. Pull out your other phone. Pull out your iPad, your iPods, whatever you got. Your tablet.
Not the iPod.
Something, anything you got. Pull out the Android.
The Nokia Razor.
Yeah.
I think they lost the script. We got some shooters.
Ah.
Chilling at the head of the table where the boss is sitting, stunning everything in sight, whether it's in the bloodline or corporate. Walk me out there, ain't a big smile, on handcuffed by officers. Hold on, wait, I think they lost the script. We got some shooters. Pow. It's off the hip. Chilling at the head of the table where the boss is sitting, stunning everything in sight, whether it's in the bloodline or corporate. Walk me out the arena, big smile, handcuffed by officers. Hold on, wait, I think they lost the script.
Shout out to everybody coming through on Twitter. If you guys are coming through a little bit late, we encourage you to hit that replay button. We've been giving y'all all the good scoops on what's been happening, our great opinions on what's been happening. Once again, if you're coming in late, hit that replay button, y'all. Shout out to everybody out there on Twitter. I see you out there, 77 strong, 78, 80 strong. Man, I appreciate you guys. Come on. Oh, wait. Hold on, wait.
Hold on, wait.
Man, I see them numbers going up. I see them numbers going up. Wow.
Appreciate y'all.
Chat, if y'all out there, y'all want to say something before we, you know what I'm saying? Let us know what's the word. I see y'all going crazy in the chat. What's the word? What's the word? Sidebar topic, chat, before we go. Would y'all like to see Wyatt 6 in a War Games match with the Final Testament? Scarlet, Nikki Cross included.
Miz included. Let's not forget.
Oh, wait. Miz on the side of the Final Testament. Would y'all like to see a women's War Games match? Talk to us, chat. Let us know what's going on. We appreciate the love. We you know what I'm saying? We're doing our best to stay here for y'all, because we also got some more content coming up for y'all offline, but gonna be uploaded right after. So let us know. Let us know. Man, I appreciate the love. We see, man, on X right now. On X. You guys are here. Man. This is probably the thumbnail that bring you guys in right here, because this is definitely what we was talking about.
A moment of things to come. And we don't even know it yet.
Man. Shout out to 171 in the building, man. Break them numbers, man. Make the scoreboard go up for us, chat. Come on. We also need some engagements from y'all. We want to know. You know what I'm saying? Want to keep the conversation going with y'all. So I also encourage y'all to write in the chat, man. Let us know what y'all think about tonight's Monday Night Raw.
Anything you want us to cover throughout the show, anything WWE related, fire away.
Yup, fire away. We gonna let the official theme song ride out in the background. I'm gonna lower it a little bit so it's not, draining over our voices. Hope that's good right there. You guys like that tune right there, you know what I'm saying? Put the QR code back up. Man, we got 202. But it's 186 on X, 16 on Twitch. Man, y'all breaking the numbers, man. Y'all making the score go up. This has been one of the best nights we've had, man. Y'all making it possible. I'm not even gonna lie to y'all. Y'all go look at the numbers, man. Y'all making this possible.
How are we feeling about the plausible end of the New Day?
Ooh, wee.
10-year anniversary, right around the corner, folks.
That's, man. Big E. What are your thoughts, Big E? You've been quiet.
That man's probably like, I'm on the next plane. I need to put my boys in check.
He's been quiet. We need some input from E.
Maybe he sent Lara to go feel the scene, peep the scene.
Man.
Because it is not all good in the hood right now. It is far from rainbows and sunshine.
Far from it. Oh wait, things are getting spicy. Yeah, I had to put that. Yeah, raise it. Yeah. After I put that notification, we got the woes. We got the woes. Let's get it, man. We got the woes in the building. Let's get it, man. Off the Hip Nation, I appreciate y'all. Unwelcome your thoughts, family. We are here. Yes, sir. Come on.
Where do we see our truth in all these stories? Because he's got something to do with the New Day stuff, something to do with technically the Final Testament and Wyatt Six stuff. Do we see the return of Lil Jimmy?
Man.
Where is Braun Strowman?
He makes everything funny, truth. I'm not gonna lie. Strowman. Ain't he been hurt?
He got a torn groin or something like that. But still, there's a lot of stuff. There's more folks involved in these stories than we're seeing on a day-to-day basis. That's what's the most fascinating part about all of this.
Hell yeah. Chat, I'm assuming y'all here because y'all see the title, who's the fifth member. I want to get y'all thoughts, man. Who is the fifth member in y'all guys' eyes? And ladies, who do y'all think is gonna be the fifth member?
Do they need a fifth?
Right. Is it a fifth? Is the fifth the final boss? Can the fifth be the wise man on either side, choosing a side?
Could it be a 5v3?
That'd be hellacious.
Can you imagine?
Not gonna lie, that'd be time. And then you gotta think, cause it's like we letting out one at a time, so it's either gonna be that side get drained out fast, or
I'm thinking once they're all out there, it's one of those, you know who will, as I've been preaching that I don't trust right now, will jump to the other ship, and that's all she wrote. In the words of John Bradshaw Layfield, someone wake up the fat lady and tell her to start singing.
Man.
The 249 out there, I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for joining us in this late evening / early morning, depending on where you are in the world.
Yeah, we keeping this going for y'all right here, man. If y'all late to the stream, we definitely ready to kick it back for y'all. If y'all, know what I mean, want to know our thoughts on who we thought was going to be the fifth members, we can run it all back. You know what I'm saying? We here. 236, man, 250, yes, sir. Come on, we running it up, chap.
I got a hot take from O'Shea Jackson Jr. And I quote, now this is his words, not ours. I'm just put that out there to the universe. So y'all don't get mad at us. Get mad at old boy over here. New Day's entrance music has always been garbage. The thing that made it pop was Biggie's voice.
I mean,
do with that information what you may. I'm just the messenger.
He was the hype. Like, it didn't sound the same when he didn't do it. And then even when it was the pre-recorded version of him doing it, you knew it still didn't feel the same. Like,
it don't got that soul. They don't got that feel.
That authenticity. Cause you, like you said, you could feel the emotion pouring through when he says that in a live town, and like it's almost it sounds the same, but it's you can hear different emotion each time.
For example,
When
say he would have been there at today's show, we would have heard, "Oh, Grand Rapids!"
Right. Yep. Tailor made. Oh wait.
Much like the John Cena retirement tour, I don't know if I'm ready for the breakup of the New Day just yet, because that's one of those things like that. Much like with the Uso stuff, that kept WWE above water in the dark ages. So for it to be the chapter to be finally closed, the book to be closed, that's going to be a lot.
Yeah. But I feel like the New Day is, since they have so much rich history, I think it'll always be a scenario where they could come back, almost like D-Generation X and Shawn and Triple H. Like, you know, like they done had their wars and was still able to come back together and be brothers and friends. I very much see the same for the New Day.
Depending on what happens in these coming weeks, this could be almost as gut-wrenching as I called it earlier, the chair shot her around the world.
Yeah.
This could be almost as guttural as Bully Ray and TNA joining the Aces and Eights.
Oh man.
Hogan joining the NWO, like one of those "how could you" moments.
Triple H and Shawn in the ring. You think DX is reuniting? Triple H pedigree, Shawn.
Then we get the blood feud of the century, or one of. Excuse me.
That's another thing I'll be entertained by. If their split leads to like the ultimate showdown between Kofi and Xavier, and not just like,
I'm here for it.
Yeah.
And it could be a one-off, make it a series. I don't care. Let them go.
And it'll be, just because they like their outfits, you know how they always in sync, they always in sync with their outfits. So when it comes to it, you're gonna have one with like the face version of said outfit and the heel villain version of said outfit. It's gonna be crazy.
It's gonna be like something straight out of Star Wars. Got the Jedi and the Sith.
Yeah, because even with this kind of like dark persona right now that Xavier is displaying, you see him with the dark outfits. So it gives me faith that he'll cosplay like a villain role. Like, you know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna be honest. If Woods cosplays as Darth Maul and puts that shit on a t-shirt, I'm buying it that night.
Going down that stars, man. Going down them stars. That's what I'm saying. They do those outfits very well. So it's like, oh man.
Makazi about to be in his bag right now. Him, main event gear.
Man.
Actually, for the late boomers to chat, you should let me hear that new joint we were playing at the start of the show. That was neat.
Yeah, we could turn it, y'all.
Folks, y'all are in for a treat. Put your lighters up, start dancing. We vibing now.
Hit that QR code. It should take you to everything, chat.
Also, down on the picture, you will see the social handles for my brother HD, our brother Snake Eyes, and myself. Feel free to tap in, chop it up with us. We all one village.
doing big time. Come on, y'all. Keep running it up, chat. Need some engagements. Give us your thoughts.
But one thing pain would hit the same, different levels with different rates. Different pills with different pains. Just read the lines, we want the same.
Banger.
They knew they lied to me. Try for me. They knew they lied to me. Try for me. Ran down fake tears, even cried for me. My apologies. My apologies. I'm dodging the play like I live in LA. Chef in the crazy. Chef in the crazy. I'm dodging the play like I live in LA. Chef in the crazy.
Chat, turn us up, man. I had the wild thought earlier that Kevin Owens was going to accept the invitation from Solo Sikoa, which is going to prompt Cody Rhodes to join Roman Reigns once again. And those are going to fill out the 5th spots. That's what I'm thinking right now. I feel like that's the more easy, doable solution right now. If you don't want to bring in a media disaster, a potential media disaster, or, you know, if you don't want to bring in people that you got to kind of have them learn on the fly real quick, especially in a War Games match. Have you ever seen anybody debut in a War Games match? It'll be a
Didn't Pat
first.
McAfee debut in there?
Say that again.
Didn't Pat McAfee debut in a War Games match?
Did he?
Or did he already have a match beforehand?
You might be right. I don't know. He had a handful of matches at NXT, you know.
As he called himself, he's a black and gold legend.
Yep.
But
do we want a Pat McAfee debut in the Bloodline match?
Well, there's only one name that could fit that bill, and his name is still on the screen right now.
Get Zilla in there. Oh, wee.
But here's the tricky part with Zilla. Yes, he claims that Roman is his tribal chief, but he was cutting his teeth with Jacob, so I'm very curious to see where his heart lies. And then you have Hikuleo, we have the newly signed Lance Anoa'i, we have the 4th son of Rikishi, we have Journey Fatu, Juicy Finau, so many cats. Roots run deep in that family.
And then there's so many arguments to be made for every situation. Like, you can have brothers reunited. You can have, and when I say brother, you can have Hikuleo going with the Tongans. You can have, you know, Zilla choosing to go either side. It's a lot that you can do.
I just got a wild idea right now.
Even Lance, I got to go back and watch how Shane. How is it exactly that the Shane and Lance thing went down? Because I just remember seeing the highlights of Shane making him submit to like a rear naked choke.
What if the 5th men for each team are the current respective elders of the family?
That'd be crazy.
On one hand, you have Mr. Too Cool himself, Rikishi. On the other, one of the most feared men in the industry, King Haku. That's a moment right there in its own right.
That is, though. Because this is not an elimination match, you could really just have them either going first,
one
like
to
one
a
of
finish,
medium.
And those two don't even gotta be in the cage waiting. They just could be just random 5th men.
Right.
Do also on surprise Rumble shit. Just let that play out.
You kind of make us forget that, like, or you give us this false sense of security that both teams couldn't get a fifth member.
Mm-hmm.
Make it
Maybe
feel like it's
here
gonna lead
we
into a 4v4.
let Haku's music hit first, and then let You Look Fly Tonight play out. We get that little babyface pop, and we lit.
Ooh wee.
Yeah, they got a lot of options, and there's more right options than wrong options, which is beautiful for them. But again, Chad, y'all got any ideas? Fire away. I would love to chop it up with all you as far as your ideas. We are all one mind. We are all one village.
Oh wait. I feel like you guys want a third hour. That's why all of us in the community we here. We want more. That's how they got us right now. This Bloodline storyline is amazing. They got it like pouring out through Raw, through SmackDown. And I'm not disrespecting nobody else's work and nobody else's storylines, but it's just an intrigue to see how can you keep up a storyline for this long and still have it like feel fresh, have it feel great, unpredictable. There's so many things that we can say about this storyline. It's just awesome to continue to see it on the weekend. Like again, I hate to say this because you want to keep the same energy with everything, but this is probably one of the only things that I don't mind that we have superstars crossing over to both brands, right? Like we don't want to get comfortable seeing it everywhere where like just anybody could pop up anywhere, but like this storyline is so powerful, and Jay is on Raw, Sammy is on Raw, so it's a very unique situation, and I like how they're handling it, to be honest.
And aside from the NWO story, we've never seen a story last this long and still maintain the same momentum through and through.
Yeah.
We are in uncharted waters.
Man, and then to see like not only that, just to add another layer to what we're speaking of, the way that the bloodline were able to become stars, put everybody else in the spotlight as well. Jay goes on to become a superstar on his own. They continuing to work over there. You got the bloodline just putting over the Motor City Machine Guns, even though we know that they're talented, but to a casual WWE audience that may not know their history, right? Like you coming through, they putting over the Motor City Machine
Or
Guns. Like
even
it's a
for
lot
even for the historians, we got the Motor City Machine Guns versus the Gorillas of Destiny.
for championship gold.
Exactly, on
In the
WWE programming.
Yeah. As to where like the WWE, they weren't really. I mean, not WWE, NWO, they weren't really putting nobody over. Like,
I mean, you got Dennis Rodman, you got Karl Malone. Does that count? You got David Arquette.
So, and again, like you said, one being a faction, second it being a storyline, like crazy.
This is all one family.
Yeah.
Store is 5 years strong and counting.
Man. That's why I'm not one that's tired of the story. I don't want to rush it. I'm really enjoying the pace that they're going at right now. Especially after the I think the other 2 weeks ago with the whole them doing the double taping before they go to Saudi. After I seen why, because then they did the Saudi from Raw, right?
Yeah,
it made sense. So it was like, okay, they gave them the SmackDown Saudi. Now they're giving them the Raw Saudi. So after you see things later on, after it marinates, like, okay, I could see why they did it. And now that we passed that, it feels like things are back on track, in my opinion.
Yes, sir. And it's like the age old saying, what will they think of next? And every time we think we got them figured out, they pull more rabbits out of the hat, and we're just, no pun intended, like, holy shit. Like what we saw today with the teasing of Seth joining either team. Or like we saw Jimmy Uso having some words with Braun Breaker.
Everything was just well done. The only thing that I feel like, now looking back at the closing moments of Raw, only thing that was a bit random, but it's not a complaint, but just to point it out, was just how Io Sky came out all willing to help them. Like,
well, I mean, she is Liv's #1 contender, so I guess.
It just felt like this was the turn right here. Like we turning her baby face. Like I'm watching her handshake Bianca giving her love, Naomi pulling her hand as to like, let's bring you in. Like that's the official. Yeah, they baby faces. Like we seen
when was the last time we saw Naomi on Raw?
It's been a while. I think so. I think it's been a while.
Did we see her on Raw during the pandemic or before the pandemic?
It's been a while because I think something transpired with that girl Blair Davenport one time on Raw when Jade and Bianca was dealing with Unholy Union, and or it might have been on SmackDown too, and she just ain't appear. It was like the little things with Naomi that we was like, why she's not included as much with Jade and Bianca. So yeah, it's been a while.
And for them to still call that true of the big three, like they shared the ring maybe 5 times this year, counting Mania.
Yeah, I mean, to me, they should be a faction the same way Damage Control's a faction. I mean, maybe you might have a harder time copyrighting a big three because of the league big three, but I mean, I don't know, maybe not because it's pertaining to wrestling. Maybe you can get away with it.
Ice Cube own the name?
I believe so.
Yeah.
So yeah, you might have, but they've been calling them like, remember the time they called Drew and Sheamus the Banger Bros, and they dead ass.
That didn't last long.
Right, because of the legalities. They've been calling them the big three, and I mean, big three, it's been a sports term. So, you know what, too? I think Ice Cube, doesn't he have like a 1 in the big three? Or am I thinking of the Big 10?
I know the Big 10 has a 1 in the name.
Okay, so I might be.
And I think Ice Cube is just big three.
Oh, so they might be able to get away with the big three, right?
Right.
Maybe? The big three. Yeah, I mean, they should have been a faction, right? Again, look, you got a situation where now we got. I think it's quite disrespectful, to be honest, that people are calling it a mid-card title. I understand that the United States Championship is viewed like that, but I don't think just because, like, I know we got to have like some kind of ranking system, but I think that needs to just go away, that term. I know it's an old wrestling term, but since like we're in a new era of doing things, I think like I don't like the sound of mid card for a new championship. It feels like when I feel like when they introduced the women's championship on NXT a little bit, they might have said the same thing, but I feel like it's still a championship that's treated as like the women's championship, like the competition is thick out there. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So I don't want the United States Women's Championship to be treated like a side note, like damn, they got me fighting for this one instead of this one. Like this could be a situation where the big three, again, let's go back to Jade, Bianca, and Naomi. You want Jade and Bianca to hold the championships. All right, so fuck it. Let's put Naomi with the United States belt then. Let's see what, you know what I'm saying? There's a lot of things that we could do. I think that if they do that, I'm gonna be honest, it'll make me want to see Jade and Bianca stick around together as a tag team just a little bit longer. Because then I'll be intrigued at how dominant they could be as a trio, holding gold. You see what I'm saying? And I might not want to rush towards breaking them up at that point if we properly have Naomi in the mix. And the only thing about that equation, like we spoke on before, it's kind of weird how like Naomi kind of like, yeah, y'all go do y'all thing for the tag team, but I'm gonna go do my thing for the women's belt, which is fine. But then it limited their interactions on screen.
You pigeonholed them.
Yeah. So I didn't really get that portion of it, to be honest. But again, we'll see what direction. We haven't got no word of there being a second War Games match, but I feel like they've done two before, right? They've done the men and women's match before.
Yeah. Lately, for all these dual shows, you'll have one women's match, one men's match. But I mean, given what we saw in the main event, I mean, it's obvious that that's probably what they're going to lean towards. I'm not a big fan of it, but
Because this match tonight was for the Women's Tag Team Championship, right?
Correct.
So, okay, Jade and Bianca beat them clean.
Also, what do you think of Jay's new finisher?
Fucking devastated and amazing. Shout out to Liv for selling that, like, or even to being able to take the move, like, first time, or not first time, but I haven't really seen Liv and Jade in the ring since Royal Rumble.
But this is their first time with this new finisher.
Yeah, so it's like taking that new finisher, Jade delivering it, Liv being acceptance, trusting of Jade to deliver that well. It kind of looks like she ends it like she does the Jaded.
Glam Slam. Or that Jaded too.
Yeah. So I'm cool with it because she does the same landing, and then she sits on him, pulls the leg up, kind of got the same finish, but the setup for it is almost like a torture. It's like a reverse torture rack, right? And then swings her and bap. Man, yeah, I thought it was beautiful. Thought it was done well. Chat. We are officially past the second hour. I want to thank y'all so much for turning this up. We're gonna get ready into doing these little side pieces. So if y'all want to say anything, you know what I'm saying? Now's the time before we get out of here.
You are more than welcome to add us on Twitter as well.
Facts, the conversation don't stop.
Spread the word to friend or foe.
Man, shout out to everybody that done ran it up. That's all it's about, man. We come here, we give our honest opinions. Some people don't like honest. That's why it's called Unwelcome Your Thoughts. And these are off the hip, baby. We not rehearsing what we saying, what we told. This is our right after Raw. Right after Raw. The only thing we talk about beforehand is live reaction during the show, because obviously we giving y'all the recap. So we coming live after.
We are fans just like you guys.
Yup, fans just like y'all. There's no script that we read and none of that. I wish we had more of a format. Bring you guys even some more fire segments. But we're going to get to that. This is real off the hip. Unwelcoming our thoughts. Once again, if y'all guys want to hear the song for Off the Hip, hit that QR code. It'll take you to Off the Hip. Then you could go ahead and hit the Vibe Fusion artist. It'll take you to the rest of the songs. Much love, chat. Much love. Much love. Much love. I want to spoil you, y'all, with something.
Uh-oh.
Nah, we're not going to do that. We're not going to do that. We're not going to do that.
Y'all gotta earn it.
Yeah, y'all hit the QR code. Y'all go, you know what I'm saying? Run it up for us. And pay attention to the next episode, man. Much love, chat.